Conservative leader Erin O'Toole parked his campaign plane and will spend the last 3 days bussing around battleground Ontario. Of the 121 seats up for grabs in the province, the Conservatives held 34 in the last Parliament. This time, many are tight races.
We deserve change here. And if people vote for anything other than the Conservative Party of Canada for that change, they're voting for Justin Trudeau.
He's talking directly to voters who are thinking of the People's Party of Canada, like this one.
They're the only party with a different message.
O'Toole refused to even name the party or its leader, former Tory cabinet minister Maxime Bernier.
Canadians know the names. I'm not going to advertise them.
Polls are showing an uptick in support for the PPC, and it could cause a vote split on the right in some ridings, allowing the Liberals to come up the middle and remain in power.
Ontario is a tough area, and he's in here campaigning, and hopefully he can swing some votes and we can take Ontario. Ontario is a difficult area for Conservatives right now, so we're hoping that we can do this.
Talking with a 99-year-old veteran, O'Toole remained determined.
The military guy in me, you fight till the end of the battle, right?
That's right, yes! Erin O'Toole!
The PPC could make the battle more difficult for the Conservatives, but whether Bernier can translate his growing support into actual seats remains to be seen. Hannah Thibodeau, CBC News, St. Catharines, Ontario.
Now, unless things change radically over the weekend, one of those two parties, the Liberals or the Conservatives, will form the next government. So let's bring in Éric Grenier, the man behind CBC's poll tracker and the Writ. Éric, the Liberals and Conservatives are in this dead heat and will likely stay that way right up until the finish line. Here's where the polls stand tonight. So, Éric, what are the key things Trudeau and O'Toole need to do over the next 72 hours to win this election?
Well, there's not much left for them to do with so little time left in this election campaign. So the last few days are really all going to be about making sure that they can get their vote out and that those people who are still on the fence, that they can convince them to go out to the polls. Because if we look at where the trends have been going since the beginning of this campaign, the Liberals started with a big lead in the polls. The Conservatives were able to catch up, and for a few weeks, they were actually leading over the Conservatives. But both of the French and English language debates did really change the momentum, and the Liberals and the Conservatives have been neck and neck, really, for the last few days, and there hasn't really been any momentum for either party. So it seems unlikely that either of them could really change things over these last 72 hours.
Yeah, it really does seem to be a dead heat there. One of the big unknowns, the rise of the PPC and what that could look like on election night. What kind of impact could Maxime Bernier's party have on the Conservative vote?
That is a real question mark, because we haven't seen this party at these levels in the polls, 6%. We don't know what that electorate is going to look like on election night. So I think that there will be a lot of votes, not all of them, but a lot of votes that are going to be coming from the Conservatives. And if this ends up being a very close seat result, the Conservatives might be looking at some of those lost PPC votes and wondering what they could have done to prevent them from going over to Maxime Bernier.
All right, I know you're on it. We'll be watching. Éric, thank you.
Thanks.